That hurt.
I'm tuned in like crazy, and I'm pretending like I know what they're doing, and I'm,
Be articulate and intelligent.
Greg's a bitch. That's all.
I find them offensive as hell.
I've never been a fan.
Yeah, fuck that.
Ooh, terrible! Bad, not bad! Oh, pretty good. Okay, decent, fair, great, I loved it!
This sucks. Yeah, you really gotta wonder how the stuff gets made.
Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Thank you for joining us for another episode of what is just two guys drinking beer and, well, just drinking, not just beer, lots of stuff. And talking about soccer. And it's been a lot of fun so far. So thanks to all of you that have helped the show grow. It grows in spurts, apparently. Grows a lot, and then it slows down, and then it grows a lot, and then it grows a lot. I think, I think what's going to happen here, and I'm going to I don't know if you heard the news, Brett. Yes, you have, because I told you in the pre-show.
Yes, I'm going to say I've heard this news before.
Yeah, but some of you might have remembered, been in touch with Eric Winalda on the X, and we got to a point where we exchanged phone numbers, and he's going to come on the show. Now, the question is when. I'm going to have to work out with him. And I hope when I call him, he's like, by the way, no, you're the asshole who wrote that skit back in 2008 or 9 or whatever it was.
You're going to have to wine and dine him, Derek.
Yeah, I think we're past that point. I mean, we're talking 13 years ago, right? When we had the split, and everything's been cordial and great so far. So, yeah, I'm going to give him a call, and as long as he doesn't chew me out on the phone, we're going to have him on the show. Like comma, you turds, because commas are great. Gotta like comma turds, you turds. Turd in the background says, welcome back to the Straight Red Card, the only soccer show with an hour about anything but soccer. My wife just bought a real doll of Greg Berhalter. The doll will get all vertical with her.
More verticality. Nice.
That's funny. I don't think they make those. I'm not buying this one. I really am not, Michael. I mean, I'm sure they buy or they sell, male sex dolls that are bald. In that case, you could dress it up to look like Berhalter, I guess. Yeah, I don't know why you do that, honestly. Great news. Yes, it is. It's great news because having Eric on. Now, here's the thing. What we want to do is try to have him on once the roster's announced, right?
Yeah, well, that'd be Wednesday, Thursdays when we're looking at.
Derek will have to break out the KY in order to get Winalda on the show. Are you implying that I'm going to have to lube Eric up to make him come on the show? Come on the show. Oh, Derek. All right. I stepped right into that. Yeah. Anyhow, no, he is a guy who has been sort of a rebel. I mean, his whole soccer commenting career, especially when he's not been on TV. And, I think he empathizes with a lot of things we say on this show about U.S. soccer. And I know he's had to deal with that. And I sort of shared with him, my experiences as a writer many, many years ago. And then actually Brett, I almost considered starting a Substack and writing a few articles again. Like, for instance, documenting all of the things that happened to John Brooks in one article and the whole timeline of John Brooks and really lay out why he's never going to play for this team again. Because there's still people who actually, I don't remember who the hell it was. They had him on their preliminary roster. Somebody picked them for their preliminary roster, and I'm thinking, no, that's not going to happen. Anyhow,
I know. Pete mentioned it that he would like Brooks to be on there, but he doesn't think it's going to happen.
No, I don't think it's going to happen. Right. Speaking of things that happened today, beyond the conversation with Eric. I was on my way home, and about at 86th Street, the channel W fan or fan, whatever it is, FM, the sports channel, turns into a music channel. I think they're based in Carmel, and it's like a classic rock station, and they play all the fucking songs I can't stand. Like today, they played Sweet Home Alabama. It's like, how many times can you hear that song? I've heard that song so many times, it's impossible to like it anymore. Have you had that experience where you've heard a song so many times, it no longer affects you in any way? It's lost all of its splendor?
I usually just change the channel at that point.
Well, I'm sort of a
usually roll down the window. Usually roll down my window, turn the wheel, and right off the bridge.
Well, here's where I go. I start thinking, there was a time where I could listen to the song and go, yeah, there's some good things about this song. Now I listen to it, I'm like, it's the same fucking chords, the whole fucking song. Not only that, but it shows up in sporting events. It shows up at movies and TV shows, on my radio. Commercials have it. I'm sorry, and I hate that we have implemented here in Indiana and changed it to Sweet Home Indiana. What? Who did that?
It's a BYB chant.
Sweet Home Indiana. Oh God! I hope we still don't do that. I know. I'm going to the game this weekend because, as you know, it is Overdose Awareness Day this weekend on the Saturday game. So I'm going, and of course, they're going to feature Overdose Awareness Day throughout the game. And we had a video made that they'll play during halftime. There's also a video, informational video that will be played on both ESPN and the local channel. What channel is that? Is that Wish TV? That's on channel 5, right? I don't know. I forgot what channel it was. I watched the only time I used to watch it on the local channel.
Plus.
That's where I watch it now.
Yeah,
that's where I watch it now. So I'm excited. You go.
It would be fun. I mean, I'm planning on taking the kids at some point in the near future. I'll let you know.
Okay, way to make it unenjoyable for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I finally got to the point now where it would be Saturday with Sunday morning. They get me up at the butt crack of dawn, and Jackson's like, "What do you put on the TV?" I'm like, "Well, it used to be the Leeds game, but
yeah,
not anymore." This week was like, I'm watching the Norwich game. Oh, you're watching soccer, and he's finally excited.
Oh, he likes it. Okay, good.
He doesn't really sit down and watch it. He'll come by and like, "What team are we rooting for today?"
Yeah,
yeah, we're going for the green and gold team, and we're actually rooting for that one with the giant ginger fro.
Yeah. Well, I remember when my older of the two sons would ask me that, like, "Who are you rooting for in this game?" And I'd be like, "No one. I have to watch this game because Americans are playing in it."
Americans,
yeah. And they're like, and he's like,
Americans.
He's like, "Why you got to do that?" I said, "Because I write articles about American soccer players, and I have to watch them play." Yeah. And so he didn't really understand that. I said, "It's not,
That's because he's not American enough.
You're not American enough." He understands it now because when we played FIFA together later on in life, in his middle 20s, of course, we put together Fulham. We played as Fulham, and we had Tim Ream on the team, and we had Jedi, and then we added a bunch of fucking Americans on the team, and pretty soon, all 11 starters were Americans on the Fulham team. Anyhow, that's how you do it on FIFA.
Jumping back to the radio and the music thing.
Yeah,
I'm curious, Derek. Was this song on there?
Only true music fans will get it. Fist, clap. That's "We Will Rock You." Don't smack. Don't smack. Yeah. Okay.
We'll
rock you.
Rock you.
Right. I didn't even get that far. I didn't even get down that far.
Yeah, you just have to hear the
don't. Yeah. Excellent song. A lot of fun. Also, another song that falls into that category while we're on the topic is "Stairway to Heaven." Like, I seriously cannot listen to that song anymore. I can't listen to it. It's too much. I just Freebird is another one. Yep, that's another one. Yesterday by the Beatles. I can't listen to that. It just makes me want to barf. I used to like all these songs, but I can't do it anymore. Like I can't listen. I just turn them. Usually, Brett is right. I should turn them off, but I don't.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to find is like, can I find some pleasure out of this song? Is there anything left in it? So I'm a masochist. I'm just going to sit there.
You're like, I know the song is 2 minutes and 35 seconds. I'll be back in 2 minutes and 25 seconds just to hear it fucking end.
Yes. Well, unless it's Dream On, which is what, 5 minutes? I can't stand that one anymore either. Never a really huge fan of that song. But, you know, the one that doesn't ever make me sick is Queen. Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody? Yeah.
I never get sick of that one.
How could you not? It plays at every wedding. All drunk people sing along with it.
Yeah,
everybody knows the lyrics, and it's just a good time. And it brings back fond memories of a movie that actually used it well, and that's Wayne's World.
And it's the opening bit. Mama just killed a man. I mean, it's great shit.
Mama
and I
didn't
don't
kill no man.
What?
I said Mama didn't kill no man. It was I killed man.
Mama just killed a man. He's talking about himself, but yeah. Put a gun against his head. Yeah, pull the trigger. Yeah, great song, great lyrics. And you got to really dig in to figure out what the song's all about. And we're not going to do that here because this show is not about song lyrics. Although we've done that before.
Literally, last show.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, kind of funny that the show was originally going to be named Dest Revival, Pepi Denial, Don't Kiss People. What, don't kiss people who don't want to be kissed? So it's kind of funny that topic is. Now, here it was. Dest revived, Pepi denied, don't kiss people on the lips without approval. There it was.
Like Derek comes up, instead of just texting me a title, like types it in and everything, he writes it down on a post-it note, takes a picture of the post-it note, and then sends it to me. Or a post or whatever.
Oh shit! It doesn't show up.
An index card.
There it is. The index.
How simple would it be? Like the Dest revived.
You want to know why? Because oftentimes on this card, I will cross it out and put another one below it. Cross that out, flip it over, and start over again. Because it takes me several iterations to figure out what the title of the video should be. And but so far you've never gone, what the fuck is that, Derek? What does that fucking mean? This one you're just like, no, I think it's the second one. I'm like, well, I was like, the first one's pretty good too. But you didn't know about the kiss thing.
I didn't know
right
about that. Again, it followed the women's game, and I really don't follow the women's game. So
it's all over whenever you click on a new tab.
I've never seen any of that pop up on Twitter. Nobody was talking about it. I know Diego commented on your post about it. I've never seen anything on Twitter about it.
Well, what happened, if you don't know, folks out there, is that there was a guy in Spain. His name, I think he's like the president of the FA or something like that.
Okay,
yeah. He's up there. Rubiales is, I think, his name. And after the Spain women won the World Cup, he grabbed this chick by the head and he flat out kissed her straight on the fucking lips. Now, he could have apologized and said, listen, yeah, right, man. I'm just really happy for them. And I lost, my senses. You just don't go around kissing people on the lips.
That's how we say hello in Spain.
No, they don't.
It's Italian of me, I know, but.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing? What is this? Super Eastern Spain? Like this is close to the border.
Back when the Romans took over,
Close to the border with France. Anyhow, yeah. So the dude kissed, the chick. The chick said it was her least favorite part or whatever. And he resigned. There you go. And the story, he resigned after much pressure. At first, he said, all the people criticizing me are stupid. And then he's like, okay, I'll apologize. Then he apologized, but it's too late. And now, I don't know. I just don't think you kiss people on the lips. Even if they win a World Cup, you still don't do that. You might kiss them on the cheek. That's sort of a European thing in some places, right? Mwah, mwah, on the cheeks, right? But not
Mm-hmm.
dead on the fucking lips after she's all sweaty and shit. I mean, that's just not something.
That's his kink. You never know.
I don't know. Unless you're Joe Biden, he kisses all his relatives right on the lips. I say he does. It's weird shit. I don't know. I've never seen it before. It's just weird. Ugh. But didn't somebody say that Trump kissed his daughter on the lips too? I don't know. I've never seen it, but
weird shit too. Talking about
said.
like if she wasn't Ivanka.
Yeah, I think it's Ivanka. Yeah.
If she wasn't his daughter, you better watch out. I'm like, dude, that's fucking weird, dude.
That's a weird thing to say.
Why would you say that?
But I don't think he
Gross.
I don't think he took showers with her when they were young,
No.
when she was
Sure,
younger.
that's not. I'm sure that no.
But
I mean, I don't know.
I don't
speak for other
know.
people. I don't speak for other people. I
People
know. I
are-
wouldn't.
People are weird wherever you go. Anyhow, all of that.
Show just got weird.
Well, it's not political. I mean, we're just talking about the things they do that aren't their politics, right? Weird stuff that they might do. Anyhow, David D. Ferreira to the San Diego Loyal. I didn't think there was a Loyal. I thought the Loyal are done.
Let's talk about soccer. 16 minutes in. How about that? This is just perfect timing.
Yeah, no, this is good.
For David D's comment. So we had mentioned earlier, once San Diego to MLS has been announced and it wasn't the Loyal, we talked about
Yeah, we did.
that they were going to fold.
They're done.
There's no chance that the two teams were going to survive.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So a video came out today from the major whatever shareholder, the major owner that's with Donovan and Yedlin and all of them.
They're all on the board, I think.
He comes out and he has this video where he talks about, we've been spending the past couple of years. We've been in the league for 4 years. This is going to be our 5th year, and it's going to be our final year. We've been spending the last couple of years trying to get land location for an actual stadium because they're currently at San Diego University's soccer stadium right now.
What do they need a stadium for? No one goes to the games hardly.
No. The many article I read talked about how San Diego plays in front of a sellout crowd. So I don't think that's accurate. But the stadium the San Diego University Stadium only holds like 6,000 people. So I mean, if they brought in like
that's perfect for them.
It would be, but it's not a permanent stadium though. So USL has USSF has a regulation for division to be classified as Division 2 because we talked about this back in the good old NASL days with the 11, right?
Right.
In order for that, you have to have a stadium that seats 3,500 people. I think is what it is for Division 2, which it fits. Now, apparently USL has gone above and beyond that, and is giving kind of a. I'm guessing I haven't done a total amount of research because this came at the end of the day, and I haven't had time to look into it that deeply. But they've given them a timeline to kind of get your own stadium in order.
They got no hope.
So San Diego's folding. That they're using the can't find the stadium as the excuse. Now that might be part of it. That might be part of it. But again, as you and I talked about, very well could just be the fact that there's a giant MLS club moving in.
Yeah, cut your fucking losses, dude. Cut them quick. You cut them quick. As soon as they heard that an MLS team was coming to town, they all got together and talked about it and said, yeah, this is done. We're fucking, our goose is cooked. There's no way we're going to be able to compete. And it's so weird watching Landon Donovan. He's always kissing MLS's ass. And yet they totally fucked him in the ass. You know, they didn't even include him in discussions about bringing pro soccer, an MLS team to San Diego, because he doesn't have those kind of big Boku bucks that the owners of the new San Diego MLS team have. So Diego having a Twitter space on rumors at 9:30 p.m. So chop, get to it.
Yeah. Well, that's an hour away, and we're not going to have that done. So
there's no fucking way. And what is
we might actually get to our main topic by that point.
Diego, you're not allowed to have a show on Thursday at this hour.
WTF. So, okay.
So anyhow, the real reason that they have to shut it down, really, beside all the excuses we're about to read, is that there's no hope for this club. None. Having a modern, commercially viable stadium solution is vital to our club's long-term success and is a pillar of USL's growth strategy. said USL Deputy CEO Justin Papadakis. Despite collectively pursuing multiple potential options with the San Diego Loyals leadership in the San Diego area, an appropriate stadium solution has not materialized because no one's going to watch the games they play anyhow once the San Diego MLS team comes. So in lieu of that, that's what this should have said. This sentence could have continued. They haven't been able to find proper space, nor have they found the proper major investors to build a fucking stadium. All right, because they're cutting their losses and getting the fuck out of Dodge, man. Big boys coming to town, and they're going to take all the fans. And
I'm sorry, unless you're gonna lease out a university's soccer field already, like wherever San Diego plays, San Diego University, you're not going to convince the state to section off a chunk of land, especially when you're talking about a city like San Diego or any major metropolis like that, to build a 7 or maybe even a 10,000 seat stadium.
Look how long
it's not financially viable at that point.
Look how long it took Indy 11.
Yeah, and that's going to be an 18,000 though.
It took a decade to get approval, more than a decade.
So yeah, I brought this up on Twitter. Basically, Indiana went several years back and forth with the council of the city and all the other politicians they had kiss ass to get some form of public assistance with the stadium.
Yeah, but they dumped a whole lot of money into it with other co-investors who are building the hotels and helping them build the apartments and making it a living space, really, with stores and all that shit in downtown Indianapolis. That saved the project because now there are multiple people with their oars in the water, and they all have to row the boat together to make this a success.
They all have a vested interest at that point.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, it's still a risk for all of them because there's a fucking cemetery underneath that thing, and they're going to be digging up dead bodies as they try to build the stadium and build the apartments and build the stores. Because it's the oldest graveyard in Indianapolis, used to be up until 1880.
Look, there's not going to be much left of those bodies, Derek.
Well, they moved all the white people out. It's just the only people they didn't move to the new graveyard was the black people. They left them there. And so, yeah, that's why there's a group of a coalition who are going to make sure that any body that is dug up is treated in the proper way. And you can't just chuck them in a truck or something and bury them somewhere else. They're going to do a proper burial. Right. Yeah. So, but we won't know who any of them are because the headstones are long gone. They're long gone. Right. So, all right. So, yeah, that's what's going on with San Diego.
But yeah, just reiterating a talking point for USL at this point. Their talk of growth and stability. I don't know. It's just why it is a team that has a fan base, and maybe they won't draw in Indy 11 numbers by any means because they've got an MLS team to compete with. But I mean, why would you go about just shuffling them off now? If you're USL, why put that timeline on them?
Well, I don't think it's a really strict timeline, number one. And number two, the bad news for every USL team now that the USL MLS partnership and play fair thing is way over is that MLS can dive bomb any major market now or minor or medium market. Let's say Indianapolis is a medium market and just bypass Indy 11 and start out their own new fucking team. Now, that's going to be harder to do because that team's been around for a long time. Yeah. I mean, a long time since 2012, 2011, right? But, and I do think that Indy 11 still has their eyes on getting an MLS team. They are not giving up on that. But I think they're thinking about it in different ways. I don't think they're thinking of buying into the league, with whatever.
Can afford that shit.
500 million, is that what it is now? Yeah. 600 million? I lost count.
It was 5 for San Diego is 500.
Okay. So there's another way to do it. You go look around the league and you find a fucking shitty ass team that nobody watches, like Houston Dynamo, and you just go buy their fucking franchise. It's going to be cheaper than $500 million. That's how you do it. And I think that's the strategy going forward. We'll see how that works out.
That's how we got the Colts, right?
Yeah. Well, you got Colorado. They struggle. Houston, Dallas fucking struggles, even though I
couldn't imagine them selling that team off, though.
They generally have a pretty decent product of young players, but they do poorly in Frisco. So
yeah, but they also bank off their youth, though. So
they do, and that's probably how they're surviving, right? And that's probably part of the strategy early on for them, which is, listen, we're never going to draw a whole lot of fans here, so let's just start becoming a factory for players, and we'll sell them, and we'll take a cut of every time they get transferred. That's the way to do it. So. All right, so that's our USL coverage for the evening, our rare USL coverage. All right, what do we got next?
We have a comedian I want to pull up here. He's doing a goal. This is I'm assuming this is a British guy, but he's doing a goal and celebration in slow motion.
Okay,
I laughed pretty heartily at it. So.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty fucking good.
That is pretty good, yeah. There it is. Fuck yeah. That is well done.
Yeah.
That's well done. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
That's well done. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I watched that thing like 4 or 5 times at work today. I was like, it was just his slow motion is so fluid. Like, I mean, I don't even know how he did it.
Yeah. Practice. I mean,
yeah.
Good comedians. Yeah. A little practice there. Do you watch a lot of ESPN FC, Brett? I know you watch some ESPN FC.
Some.
The guys.
Yeah. Eric.
Yeah. They often have this guy on, and I don't know if you can find a photo of him right now. His name is Alex Kirkland. He's a really good journalist. He has a lot of good special things to add. I enjoy him. I have a hard time watching him, though. And it's not that he's ugly or anything. I'm not saying that because I don't want to be judgmental about that. But his lips are weird. His lips are really weird. I don't know if you can find a video of him on like YouTube or whatever, but he's got the weirdest lips I've ever seen. It's kind of like a salamander almost. He's got salamander lips. Anyhow, it just freaks me out every time I watch it because I find myself staring at his lips instead of listening to what he's saying. And I think that's not good, right? I mean, I think he should do a podcast where you can't see him. I think he'd be better at that. But yeah, that's him. Anyhow, somebody else has seen him. I can't be the only one who's seen Salamander Lip Guy. Like I said, he's he's in the guy up there, Muckrack, on the top. I mean, he's not an unattractive dude. His lips are just fucking weird. That's all I got to say. Watch it yourself and let me know, people.
Is it one of those things where like you hit pause and every pause is just a golden picture of where it looks weird, but in motion and just talking and stuff like that, maybe it's perfectly fine?
No.
Okay.
No, that's not the problem. The problem is it looks weird when he's talking. Like his lips are all salamandery. And when he talks, you lose yourself in his lips because you're like, man, that's some weird lip fucking action going on there. But it's not, he doesn't talk funny or anything. Anyhow, good work. I hope he keeps it up. I just had to bring up, I wondered if I was the only one who gets kind of like weirded out by that while I watch him talk. All right.
He says he should grow a beard like Derek.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I have very small lips, so there's not much action happening there.
Salamander?
Salamandery lips.
Catfish?
Maybe catfish is better. Oh yeah, there's some catfish action. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a video of him for the next show, Brett.
Maybe.
Just so we can share with people what my psychosis is.
Yeah.
All right.
Chris Gary shared this video with us. Says, bro literally handshakes with his death and comes back.
Okay. Whoa, my God!
Woo! Woo-wee!
What is he doing?
Oh no!
Can he not see? Are his eyes?
I wonder
broken?
this all the time. When you see all the people that go across train tracks, like try to bypass the barriers that come down and stuff. I mean, I know there's no barriers here. Maybe there are the yellow barriers. I see those a little further on in the picture up here. Maybe there is a yellow barrier. And he's like, I can get past that. But then he doesn't realize, oh, this is a fast.
Dude,
that thing is fast.
that dude's lucky to be alive. Speaking of lucky to be alive, this is by the way, 2023 has been one of the deadliest years on Mount Everest for climbers. And a lot of people are putting it down to too many amateur climbers, which mostly all of them are amateur climbers. And it's too slow getting up and too slow coming down. And people are just dying. They're just fucking dropping dead. And there was an avalanche, I believe, this year as well. But the other thing was the guy who did a program on YouTube you can find. Don't remember the title, where he goes up and he's like, I'm not here to climb the fucking mountain. I'm here to investigate the total fucking trash and garbage that is piling up. So he goes to Camp 4, and it's just like tons of fucking garbage and turds because there's no place to take a shit. There are no toilets. You shit on the fucking ground. The shit sits there. And in Camp 4, during the day, it's not frozen. Okay? So you got stinky shit just everywhere. Then you got to piss. So there's piss,
frozen. It can't be that
urine.
stinky, right?
No, it doesn't freeze during the day in Camp 1, excuse me. Camp 4 it does. Camp 4, it's always frozen. Yes, so you got frozen. Right.
You're sitting there trying to drop one, and all of a sudden you have to break it off like an icicle.
I mean, it's so gross. And the guy's just like documents all the fucking garbage on this mountain. It's just catastrophic. They're ruining this mountain. They're fucking shitting all over it and leaving their trash all over this fucking mountain. And there's really no way to get it down at this point. You're not going to get anything to go up to Camp 4, for instance. I mean, I suppose you could roll it on a giant snowball and roll it down the mountain to get it out of there. But, yeah, they're just fucking that place up for their own stupid, their own stupid, whatever you want to call it, shits and giggles. Oh, I made it. Yeah. I claim fucking Everest. What have you done, bitch? Nothing. You just sit at home and watch TV, you pussy. Life's about taking risks, you cunt. You little pussy. Yeah, whatever, dude.
So did you put the flag on top of Everest? No, but I shat right there.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I made it, but some of my friends didn't because they're pussies. That's why they didn't make it. Man, fucking shut up.
Dan W says the Yetis are like, get the fuck out of here.
They would like this all to go in. Now, there's really not much living up there, but you're still ruining a sacred place to the people that live there and around the mountain. To them, it's a sacred place, but then the Sherpas got no other way of making money, so they gotta go and make money.
You think you go up to like wherever I was, whatever you said, the tier 4, whatever the fuck you said it was.
Camp 4.
And you're like, oh man, we're taking a rest for the night, but I'm not tired. You just go out there, you grab some frozen shit and skip it down the mountain like it's a rock in a lake.
I mean, you could.
Yes.
I'm sure they're just giant, big old giant things of shit, right? Like if you had diarrhea, you could take a shit and it would freeze and it'd be like a disc and you could ride it down the mountain. Until
like
it got
frisbee, see how far you can get down. Some poor sap at the bottom of the mountain going slice them right in half.
Until you got to Camp 1. Oh, by the way, that reminds me of a story. My brother once, it was in the dorms at Indiana University, and this guy, like they were having a party in the dorms, they had beer, and this twat down the hall told on them, and they got busted for having beer in the dorm. So when this guy left for break, I think it was Christmas break, and my brother's going to leave the next day, but there was nobody there. So my brother took out a plate and he peed on the plate. So, and then he put it in the freezer and he froze it into a disc. Then he broke it off and he slid it underneath this guy's door. So when the guy came back, he opened the door and there's a massive puddle of fucking urine all over his fucking door.
You know, that's a pretty ingenious, actually.
No, I have to give my brother credit.
I'm
that
not
was
mad.
Yeah, I mean, my brother, he just came up with that shit out of plain fucking thin air. What a move.
Yeah.
All right. What is the stream about? We're getting to soccer. Don't worry.
Well, Derek, I kind of like. Oh, you were going to say something?
I was going to say the show's kind of like Seinfeld most of the time. Yeah. It's really about.
Anyways, we talked about soccer very early, about 16 minutes into it. Then we got back to some fluff. But now we're about to branch right back into Derek's favorite segment. But Derek,
oh no,
Derek.
Well,
I told you I spent a good chunk of my day today coming up with a video for transfer.
I can't wait to see it.
Oh, don't worry, it's only like 5 seconds long.
Okay,
that's how long it takes to go transfer news, all that shit.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna get to say
I spent a lot of time and effort on it. I hope everybody likes it. Okay.
All right, that's a lot of pressure. Transfer news. Everybody loves that transfer news, but me. Oh, that was kind of cool. I kind of might miss having to sing it though, but okay.
I'll do it one more time and you can sing along with it, okay?
All right, you ready? Transfer news. Everybody loves that transfer news, but me. All right. So here we go into the depths of hell. The depths of hell.
I wanted to get like a unicorn riding in the background, but I couldn't find a good one for it.
You should have tried AI.
I could have. You're right.
Yeah, I bet you they got a unicorn flying across the screen. Yeah.
Transfer news.
Transfer news. Yeah. All right.
Let's pull some transfer news, right?
Let's do it.
That's what we're talking about.
Manuel Veth, friend of the show.
That's a serial killer design there.
Probably so. Manuel Veth, a friend of the show and owner or part owner or whatever he does there at Transfer Market, says Feyenoord are set to sign U.S. men's national team talent Correde Usundina from Orange County. Osundina will initially be loaned out to Dutch second division side Dordrecht. All right, so okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about that. That's nice. How old is he? Do we know how old he is? Is he American? Yes, it says he is. Yeah. So I guess we should care. Starting out in the second division, I would usually say is sort of like playing half amateur teams in a lot of ways in Holland. He's a young kid. So this is a good start because he'll get to play. But, you know, who was the other kid that they just Brøndby dumped off? Can't remember his name. Anyhow, yeah. So the second division, he should get some playing time because it's not very good, especially the bottom of the bottom of the Dutch second division is always very bad, very poor. So yeah, okay, fine. I'll keep an eye on him. I'll put him on the list.
You're talking about Che?
Che, thank you. Yes. Che is playing in the second division in Holland as well. So,
all right, let's move on from there.
And Che was extremely highly regarded prior to this, so very odd.
Oh, before we get into this, I wanted to bring up the guy we just talked about. It's another USL, like a promising young talent that opted to go with USL than playing at MLS. Are we going to be seeing this more and more and more and more? We talk about it from time to time.
Absolutely, yes.
But yeah, I mean, you can get those 1 year, 2 year quick contracts.
Yep.
And USL will dig any money. Whereas MLS will sit there and be like, no, we want 12 million for this kid who's not played before for our team.
So
but he's promising we want 12 million for him, whereas I'm sure USL will be happy with 2 million.
or you can go play in MLS Next Pro and play amongst other children instead of playing against grown men, because MLS refused to pay a fee to continue to have their 2 teams play in USL, because you know what MLS thinks of USL? You're just fodder for us, so fuck off. All right, ouch. this is from Otaku, which, no offense to Otaku, but we always have to take this with a grain of salt. Brendan Rodgers, unless he's quoting somebody specifically that we trust.
It's an injury, so.
Brendan Rodgers, all right, confirms in a press conference that CCV is one of the Celtic players that will be sidelined for around 8 weeks due to injury. Oh, man.
That's September and October windows.
Done. This is not going to help him, because the thing about Greg is out of sight, out of mind, right? That's how Greg operates. So out of sight, out of mind is not good for CCV being gone, unless your name's Christian fucking Pulisic. Then you're okay with out of sight, out of mind.
Aaron Long, who blew his knee out or whatever, and then still got call-ups.
Yeah, but he already had the shivers for Aaron Long prior to that. So
yeah, that sucks. Hopefully he gets a speedier recovery, but I still think October is out of the commission at this point, even if it's a quicker recovery.
Well, you don't want to have him jump right back in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's the same reason why I was making the argument on Monday. I think it was that even if Reyna does get healthy, which I'm finding it real quick. Where is it at? So many tabs. Oh my goodness.
Well, I will say this.
There's the next tab.
Okay. Well, I will. Let me finish on camera cover this real quick. He hasn't got injured a lot, right? But this is a pretty severe one. I mean, that's a long time to be out. So I don't know what the injury is. I'll have to look into it, but I sure as hope it's not his left testicle. All right. Chambers. Nope. U.S. men's national team v. haters. I think we just became followers of each other.
Hey, look at that. Well done.
Okay. I think we had an argument briefly, and then I don't know. He might be a different guy. Per Dortmund manager Terzic, Gio Reyna is on the pitch for the first time today and can participate in parts of training. Like what? Kicking around the ball 2 feet to what? I mean,
there's video of him coming out on the pitch and making a couple of a trap and a pass, and that was all the video showed. But still, right. He's mobile.
Yeah, I mean it's good. So, it's good.
September's gone. Maybe October. Let's wait and see.
I just it just sucks to wake up on a Saturday or Sunday morning and see the Dortmunds playing, and then just know he's not going to be on the team. And it's ruining my. I'm glad the seasons are all starting again, but it's ruining the beginning of my season. It's a player I really want to see. I want to follow. I want to see him progress, because this is an opportunity this year for him to actually take over a starting role. So we'll see. All right.
We got mixed bits of information here. BMR says CCB has a hamstring injury, while Ken P says CCB coming off surgery.
That's that left testicular surgery.
Because he just played.
Yeah.
Unless he got hurt, went and had surgery, and went back in 8 weeks.
I swear to God, he went 90 in the last game.
I'm leaning towards the hammy. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's good to see Reyna back. We'll get into more Reyna news later on, though.
Okay.
Well, or maybe lack thereof news.
Okay.
But
all right. 17-year-old goalkeeper Diego Cocken.
Let's go with Koken, right? He's U.S. Let's make sure we don't insult him like we did with Cock, right?
Cock doesn't matter. But I mean, if Koch is Cock, then this should be Cocken, right?
This is Cochin.
Okay.
No.
I mean, it is he's from a different background than Cock. Cock's German. That makes sense. If this guy seems to be Spanish or have Spanish or Latin background.
Maybe I was right.
Well, no, I was I was just being an asshole, Brett.
I know, but I would have assumed it'd been more like cocking as well, or coaching or something like that. Not actually coaching, because coaching is very much what I would say, because it's very phonetic, right?
Right.
So,
but because he is Latin, I'm sure it's pronounced coaching. Peruvian, so he is Latin, or Hispanic. Whatever you want to say. It's up to you guys.
So it looks like what he's a dual nap for U.S. and Peru, basically.
Yeah, and he plays on Barcelona.
Look at that picture of him, man. It's a nice picture. Come on, he's on their what is it? The first team selection.
He was the backup goalie in the last game.
They can't even put a photo of him up there. Come on,
it's like take a snap. Jesus.
Come on, everybody's got a phone these days, man.
So, by the way, I did announce this on the weekend report that this guy played and that he was didn't play. He was on the bench as the backup for Barcelona. And I think I texted you too. I was like, yeah, there's some fucking 17-year-old kid who's American at fucking Barcelona sitting on the bench waiting for the goalie to get injured. Like, this is insane.
Oh, please get injured. Please.
How have I never heard of this player before? And he must be good because you don't go jumping up to the fucking first team to be a third string goalkeeper at 17 fucking years old. Yeah. That's
pretty impressive.
Crazy. That is insane for a goalkeeper. I've seen field players do it, but not a fucking goalkeeper. That's crazy. All right.
But yeah, Seth says he's played for the U.S. at the youth levels. He has dual nationality. He can also play for Peru. But Nate says he's so good they haven't unlocked him yet.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're a 17-year-old goalkeeper, you don't get unlocked until you're in your mid-20s. You don't become the best player you can be. Generally, goalkeepers reach fine wine material from mid-20s through their early 30s. That's the fine wine time for goalkeepers.
So you don't get a photo until you're in your early 20s?
Apparently not on this team.
Apparently.
Now, they'll have a photo of him soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I wonder if Transfer Market has a photo of him, because I think they do, because I remember looking them up. So they've got a photo, at least. 16-year-old quad national striker Dino Clapija. Clapija? That's probably right, Brett. That's 2 out of 2 for you.
2 for 2.
Clapija is heavily linked. Hold
on. Name the flags. Go.
United States, Croatia, Bosnia Herzegovina, and that one is so small, but it looks like Albania.
Montenegro.
Is that what that is? It's too small.
Montenegro, yeah.
It also looks like the Albanian flag. Anyhow, I got 3 out of 4. Not bad.
That's impressive, yeah.
Okay. It's heavily linked with both Manchester United and RB Leipzig. Go to Leipzig, dude. Just go to Leipzig.
Yep.
Don't go to fucking Man United. You'll just end up playing on Man United's U21 team, and then they'll ship you off somewhere and give up on you. With 2 clubs currently in talks to secure his services, the U.S. Youth National Team star, I guess he was the star on the U15s, could soon choose the clubs he prefers and later join.
Probably on the U17s.
Yeah, I don't know. This is the one thing U.S. soccer does the worst thing that they do. They don't promote any of the youth boys teams. You never get to watch them. You don't get to see them. You got to dig through shit to find the games. You got to dig through fucking the schedule to find out when the game is. They don't announce it on their Twitter. It's like they don't fucking exist. So there you go.
Yeah, man. If and when this kid becomes something special for the senior team, I think LB has the idea for a TIFO or just a sign for him. But he's Dino from the Flintstones. It's gonna be a good one.
All right. Well, okay. I think it's a little too early to jump the gun on a 16-year-old kid. Let's see what he picks, what he does. He's apparently got 4 legs, so that's always troubling. Quad.
We do have the in route, the fact that he's in stateside and he's played for the U.S. So that's no guarantee. We know that for a fact, but.
Man, he's about as American as apple pie. Leave this kid alone. This is like Pulisic. He ain't playing for all the other options. He's got one option in his head.
we've had a number. Well, we have had a number of Mexican Americans just recently.
And how'd that work out for him?
It hasn't. I'm just saying that it's possible. We've had a couple of high level profile players under youth levels that bounce as well.
All Mexican.
Sabatic
was about 10 years ago, dude.
I know. I still bring him up.
And that's because our good friend Rongren pissed him off.
Rongren.
And by the way, he's not our good friend. And he's the opposite of a genius. He's very slow-witted. Anyhow, I hope
didn't he fuck up with Gonzalez as well?
Yes.
Wasn't it him too?
Yes. And he lied.
Oh, maybe Bullet dodged, but who knows? Maybe his career would have been different if he chose stateside.
I never really thought Jonathan Gonzalez was that much.
I don't know. He was starting at that year. He made the switch. He was starting for his club. Whatever it was something like, well, here's a 18-year-old kid that's starting in the Mexican league doing X, Y, and Z. But I mean, again, you put a little too much pressure, too much hype on these young kids, and most of them won't pan out.
Yeah, I mean, he never became much more than a Ritz cracker, right? He didn't become one of those fancy crackers you can buy in the fancy section of Kroger where all the cheeses are, right? He just remained a Ritz cracker. And that's fine when you're 18 because Ritzes are pretty damn good, right? But now he's become less than a Ritz cracker. He's like the generic cracker you get at the grocery store. Not even Ritz. You're like going down to like the Kroger brand ones.
Yeah.
Whatever that's called. Judgmental deity.
Just as good. Yeah.
Has any Mexican American besides Julian ever cracked the Mexican national team in the last 10 to 15 years? Legitimately, no idea.
Didn't Efren Alvarez get a cap?
That doesn't count as legitimately cracking it, right? Like cracking it.
He said crack. I mean, outside of the Gold Cup, would you consider Julian as having legitimately cracked the national team outside of the Gold Cup? Or no, it was Nations League, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to say that yet. It's too early. Did he crack it? I mean, cracking things ain't hard, you know. But let's say you crack a coconut, you still got a lot of work to do to actually get to the inside of it. And he may crack the coconut, but he's just at the beginning stages. And no, I mean, last 10, 15 years, the answer is no. The answer is just no.
Yes, technically you're right there.
Yeah. I mean, there's some circumstantial information that there are Mexican players who have claimed to be able to play for the United States. I've never seen proof of it. And so I don't know. And they have cracked the team. And I've heard, but he might be U.S. eligible. But I've never seen proof of that. Who's the guy that starts with an M? Anyhow, doesn't matter. It's just rumors. I've never heard it verified. So other than that, no, the answer is just no. So U.S. men's national team only breaking Arsenal and Monaco have reached an agreement for the transfer of Florin Balogun on a $45 million deal. Man, those are two teams, Monaco. I mean, they're risking it all here. I mean, this is brave shit on their part. I cannot believe they are throwing down the money close to what Arsenal is asking for, if not what Arsenal is asking for. Brizuela? I don't remember him. Don't know him. I'm not an expert on the Mexican national team, but I am.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, he plays for Guadalajara and was born in the United States, or played. I don't know how old he is.
He plays for Chivas?
For Chivas, yeah.
Well, that
32 years old.
Oh, well, he's too old now anyhow. It doesn't matter.
14 Mexican national team call-ups.
Caps. Okay. Well, here's the thing. How long does he play for Chivas? Because you're not allowed to play. In order to play for Chivas, you have to be a Mexican. That's the rule with Chivas.
Yeah.
It's an all-Mexican team. So if you go play for the United States, you're no longer considered to be Mexican. To them. That's how they run things there at Chivas. Okay, well, listen. If this is true, that they've reached an agreement, this is a good thing for Balogun. He's going to play for Monaco. I didn't know Monaco had this kind of money to just toss around. I really didn't. I didn't think they were going to splurge like this. This is a lot of money for a fucking striker who's had one good season in Ligue 1. That's a risk. It's good for him. It's good for him. It's a good thing. But I'm shocked by it. I frankly am surprised. So, yeah. Aren't the Monaco owners American?
I don't know.
I thought they were. Nevertheless, I didn't know they had this much money to splash. I'm really surprised by this. So if this actually does go down.
Is that who he's going up against? I mean, I don't know who's starting for Monaco at this point. But he's starting with some pedigree.
He's a great player. He's a really good player. Really good. So he will have to battle for some playing time. So we'll see how that works out. But he's out of Arsenal. That's the good part, right?
Yeah.
Is just he's never going to get to play there.
Wasn't going to go anywhere. Yeah, absolutely. Wasn't going to go anywhere.
So even if he ends up as a backup player for Ben Yedder, let's.
But he's also 33, so at that point, you have to imagine that they're looking at Flo as the future.
Right. And I don't know Ben Yedder's injury history, but guys at 33 do get injured. And they need a break throughout the season. You don't want to start them game after fucking game after game after game. Apparently, he's the highest sale ever for Arsenal. That is insane to me.
Yeah,
it's insane. I cannot
especially since over the in years past, especially, man, they were always much more of the buy cheap and use them for a couple of years and then sell them off, right? I mean, that's kind of like almost the Dortmund of EPL. That sense.
Arsenal, they sell off a lot of players. They don't give their youth players a whole lot of shots most of the time.
No,
over the years, because they usually sign some veteran players. That's kind of where they go.
That's why I want
Monaco just sold Disasi to Chelsea for 45 mil. I know. Is that insane? So it's just Chelsea just keep buying more fucking players. It's just fucking insane.
Chelsea should have just paid Arsenal, and they could have just bought the players, right?
I don't think it's going to change anything for Chelsea. I think they're going to be garbage again this season. I know Pochettino is a very good manager, but this team is made up of a bunch of fucking pussies. A lot of fucking pussies. And now I sound like the guy who's like, hey, man, I climbed fucking Everest, you pussy. You bet you couldn't do it. But I'm saying, there's just a lot of weak characters on that team. Weak characters. And they've got at this point, no chemistry because they don't know each other. So they're going to stink for a while, or they're not going to be as good as they hope they would be. I can tell you that. And Pochettino's going to have to pull it together as much as he possibly can. And frankly, I don't fucking give a damn because I fucking hate Chelsea. So fuck them.
Well, yes, right. We don't have to worry about Flo going to Chelsea at this point, then, if that's the case.
Thank God. If this report is true, thank God. Do not go to Chelsea. Do not. They're going to be mid-table this season. At best. My wife just blew me. All right.
Congratulations, Mitch.
Like a balloon, or was this a sexual activity? All right. So did she blow in your ear? Burnley are reportedly plotting a move for Reggie Cannon on a free transfer. Cannon is a free agent after canceling his contract at Boa Vista earlier this summer after a dispute over alleged unpaid wages. Did you hear all the stink that no MLS team has showed any interest in Reggie Cannon? Isn't that weird? I find that weird.
Wasn't part of his video that where he talked with Herc, kind of saying that MLS is below,
Yes.
Below.
That shouldn't stop them from signing him, though.
Dude, MLS is petty as fuck, man. Remember when Lee Win came back from Europe and he wanted to play in MLS, and they said, "Yeah, since you spurned that GA contract, we're going to offer you league minimum, which is like $32,000 at the year." He's like, "Nah, I'm going to go to Vietnam for a couple of years."
Pretty petty. I don't know if it's petty now because the teams now have they do all the decision making on who they want to sign. It's not like the old days when MLS is like, no, you can't sign him. Nowadays, the teams sign who the fuck that they want to sign. So I'm just surprised nobody wanted to. Maybe even FC Dallas reaching out to him, but no, I heard none of that.
Maybe he's requesting more money than they're willing to pay, because we do know that Lawless even indicated that MLS doesn't really care about defense.
Well, good luck at Burnley, Cannon. I just don't think that's a great move. But hey, man, I don't see you as a future United States men's national team player anyhow. So go get whatever you can get. Again. It's meaningless as far as the U.S. men's national team goes. He's not going to play for us again. I don't think Berhalter favors him. And I don't know. He just never really grew. I mean, he was a fine right center back.
Derek, we don't play with the right center back, though. So
I know we don't play his position either. I mean, that's the excuse Berhalter gave him, too. He's like, that position you play is not a position we play. Well, dumbass, you've been playing Reggie Cannon as a right back for years. So now you're just saying because he plays right center back, he's not allowed to play for you?
Well, I'll be annoyed then in that situation with Berhalter if he plays Weah as a winger, right? He's no longer a winger. He's a wing back.
Can't play him.
We don't play him with a wing back, right?
There's an escape clause there for Berhalter. Hey. Right wing back has the word wing in it.
That's how we get it. Our wingers pretty much our wing backs, right? All right.
He's going to count them all as the same thing. Yes. But good luck to you, Reggie. Keep us some, just go do your thing. All right. What do we got next? Transfer news.
Just before the show started, there's a lot more transfer news than I forgot that I liked. So.
All right. Novakovic, both an American and a Croatian. Although he's played for us, I don't know why we put the Croatian flag up at this point. He can't play for them as far as I know. Or maybe
he's only played in friendlies with us.
Was that a friendly?
Yeah, those are friendlies.
Wasn't that a Gold Cup game?
No, you're thinking of St. Louis kid. Not St. Kid, but a kid playing for St. Louis now.
Okay.
Gioacchini?
I don't think so, but I thought that was a Gold Cup game. Maybe I was anyhow. Has signed with newly promoted Serie B side Calcio Lecco, on loan from Venezia. Here's the sad thing: he's not good enough to play for Venezia. They're going to loan him out to the worst team in Serie B, the worst fucking team in Serie B, and then the team he was on for years, Frosinone. He leaves Frosinone, and then they get promoted. And they're in Serie A now. He was on that team for 3 or 4 years. I mean, Jesus.
Only got bit minutes at best there, too, though.
No, he played quite a bit. He played quite a bit for them. Yeah.
I thought he did, and then he ended his career there getting serious bit minutes.
Yeah, at the end, he was getting bench minutes. So, but that's what he'd become now as well for Venezia. So he had to leave. It's sad, though. He's dropping so far down to a team that's probably not going to survive this season. But we'll see what happens. Venezia.
Are you more likely to blame, though?
Venezia, on the other hand, have higher goals this season. And they're starting off good this season instead of like they did last season, like shitholes.
Jasper and Landon Donovan are both correct. He should go to MLS.
Okay. Never found much success in Venice. Hopefully he can find some form and help Lecco, Sati, in Serie B this season.
Is it the 2 seasons that sound?
It should be Lecco.
Okay.
As far as I understand it. I'm just fucking around. But it should be Lecco. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
If I'm wrong, let me know. Any Italians in the crowd, let me know. All right. I think it's Lecco. Diego Mendoza, no.
We'll get that in just a sec, because that's the end of
transfer news. Everybody loves that transfer news, but me.
Oh, right. I need to get the most out of that. I spent too much time working on that.
It would have taken me 5 seconds to make that. All right.
The longest time was actually downloading the audio clip, because I had to pull it from a live stream.
Okay.
And all of our live streams like 2 hours long, so I had to pull the entire audio down, and then I had to learn how to splice it on Audacity.
You know what I use, right? Why don't you just get it? You have the money.
Yeah, I just don't do enough editing. Maybe I should actually do it.
You could probably do a lot more of it if it wasn't a pain in the ass to do, right?
Well, it was the only pain in the ass was actually learning how to do it. It's not hard to do. It's just trying to find certain things and do whatever. But
it's the research that took me longer to put together the intro to this show, right?
Mhm.
Than
Yeah.
it did to actually putting the intro together. That was not hard once I had all the bits and pieces I wanted to put together. You should think about it. It's a really good platform. All right. What is the name of our platform?
All right, here we go.
Lecco.
BMR also mentioned it, but he explains it in further detail.
Caesar pronounced CH before an I or an E. Wow, this is getting okay. Yeah, man. All right. Thanks.
There's an example of it, right?
Chow is pronounced chow. Yeah, I know that word. I wasn't born yesterday.
Well, there's a lot of rumors going around, and I believe Diego is about to jump on his Twitter Spaces here in about 8 minutes to talk about some rumors. I'm sure he has a lot more rumors and a lot more inside details than we have on this front.
Why don't you just tell him to come on here?
Well, he has a Spaces set up for this. I'm guessing he's ready to roll there. No, we need to get him back on there.
I mean, dude, Diego, you got rumors. Why don't you just come on the show and put them out? All right. Well, whatever. He used to do that. Now he's undercutting our show.
No, Bandit, that doesn't work because that's not an I or an E, apparently.
Chunt. All right. Anyhow.
Okay. But yeah, so there's a lot of rumors swirling about players who are going to be brought up into the upcoming September friendlies.
Right. Heard about it. Everybody's bitching and moaning.
So before we get into any of the actual rumors, and I don't even know what I have pulled up here because I was in a rush trying to get all the stuff pulled up, and I don't know what I got. But we can talk about some stuff and who we think might be included and who probably won't be included.
I really don't know. I just know that people are worried about who's going to be included.
But yeah,
I'm going to guess he's talked to Reina yet either. He hasn't talked to Reina. He hasn't talked to Pepi.
Yep, those are the two big ones, right? But a lot of people are going, well, why would he need to?
Not yet. It's too early.
Less to do with Pepi, I think. I think more to do with Reina as far as the bridges need to be mended on both sides. And I'm not saying they're ever going to become close or anything like that by any means, but there needs to be that line of communication at some point.
It'll be a professional relationship. And no more. That's it. We're professionals. I do my job. You do your job. No cuddling is going to happen here. All right. And listen, I would suspect he would have called Pepi by now, at least called him and said, hey, man, I'm excited about you getting signed by PSV. Just go on and do your thing. Sorry about the World Cup, but hey, everything's new going forward. And we're excited for your future. We're excited for you playing for our team going forward. How hard is this fucking conversation?
But then that conversation should have had with Reina too then, right?
No, because that's more complex.
That's my point, though. So,
there's a lot more underlying bullshit. That meeting can't happen over phone. That meeting has to happen.
He was in Germany.
Person.
He should have had that meeting in person.
He was in Germany, and we don't know if he had that meeting with him in person or not.
Well, Diego here says no, and then Brett, who's might be in our chat, I'm not sure if he is or not, said, "Hey, we really need to stop taking everything Diego says, to heart. And there's some falsities. He's been wrong on some things." And Diego's like, "Dude, I can show you this. I can show you the my text message with Reina."
Yeah.
So I'm sure the conversation has come out. It's like, hey, have you talked to Greg yet? And he's like, no.
Now, so
who knows when that conversation had? Maybe it's happened since, but I mean, Diego's saying that it hasn't happened yet.
It should have happened if he was in Germany, and that conversation should have happened. Reina's not playing, so it's a good time to sit down, have a relaxed conversation without Reina having to focus on playing soccer, and just say, hey, let's hammer this out. Let's have a good professional talk. What I did was wrong, and I apologize. And I know I lost your trust, but we're going to move forward now, and you're a big part of this team going forward. And I want you to know that I'm going to treat you fairly, and I'm going to be just as much of a coach to you as anybody else. And this conversation's not that hard, but he needs to say, I want to move on if we can, in a professional manner. I don't expect you to like me, and I don't expect you to be a big fan of what I did, and I hope someday you'll forgive me. But at this point, I know you're going to be a big part of the team, so I need to have some sort of relationship with you as a coach and a player that's professional, so we can move on together. That's it. That's that discussion in a fucking bottle. And by the way, if Diego Mendoza is saying they haven't talked, can I just say something for people who are attacking Diego? Diego literally talks to these people on fucking Twitter. Reyna, McKinney,
He talks to
Adams.
well, not on Twitter, both McKinney, but he talks to them via text. He's got all
via text. Yeah, it's not on Twitter. I'm sorry.
He communicates with a lot of these players on a regular basis. I guarantee it.
Yeah, 1-on-1 on this phone. So, I mean, he can prove it to you if he wants to. He's done it to us. He's like, here, let me show you.
Well, I mentioned because he had made a post where he said, "Hey, people have to realize when I'm talking about my personal opinion, what I've heard, and what's actually happened. There's a difference between those three things, and people need to realize X, Y, and Z."
Well, we've had that discussion with him, as well, and I told him you need to be very clear about those three different things, right? So, because he's got to be clear going forward, he's got to say, this one is just my opinion. Here we go. Or this one is just some shit I heard. Or this one I know for a fact. Got to break it down like that.
My response to him was simply saying, hey, anything that's posted on Twitter, I take with a grain of salt. Because there's so many moving parts. Variables change as quickly as the wind. Things fall through. Some things go as according to plan. But what I will take until I hear otherwise is your opinion, is your comments on the U.S. men's national team drama.
Yeah,
because he's got the inside road there. He knows the people that are dealing with these issues. And they're there for the conversations. They're there for the fights. They're there for the punishments. Now, going back to my original point with what I said, taking everything with a grain of salt. Using Adams as an example, Diego had said, hey, Adams is not staying at Leeds. He said that from the get-go. Adams is gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was rumors all the way up to the final deadline that it was going to be going to Chelsea. And then that fell through. And then immediately he was at Bournemouth. So Diego's right at that point, right?
Yeah.
He said, hey, he's not going to stay. But he didn't specify where he's going to. He specified that Pulisic was Champions League bound before any teams were even announced.
Right. You know where he's wrong, though? Having a show the same time we are.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
All right. You got to message him after this, dude. And just say, hey, we're on at 9:30. You want to come on and do some rumors? We'll hang out with you. All right. Or maybe I should do it. I don't know. Next one.
Oh,
by the way,
I'm not sure why that canceled. But while I'm doing that, let's pull it up.
All right. Hey, Jason Gonzalez Ortega, thank you very much, my brother, for $1.99. And any of the rest of you who want to hop on board and throw us some dimes, we appreciate it. Sebastian Soto is still better than Jesus. Tell that to Klagenfurt, because they don't play him. Yeah. Kramashi, Calendar, Johnny, leaked. Well, Johnny, I'm fine with. Johnny just played this week in a Copa game in South America and did very well and has been playing very well for Internacional. He went 90. Calendar, I'm not going to complain about Calendar either because, I mean, he's performed very well. Kramashi, I think that would be just to, tickle his nutsack.
The wine and dine, right?
Yeah, that's kind of like,
hey, we see you. We're really interested. We'd like to bring you into the fold.
Right. I think that explains all three of those, right? Not that it justifies any of them. It's just that's I can understand Johnny, absolutely, and the other two. Calendar as a second string, he's played well. So
as a third goalkeeper, I mean, we're looking at
you're
anybody, right?
Replaces Sean Johnson. So there you go.
Yeah, I know. Pete had Gaga in there as the third option instead of Calendar.
I think that's all right too. I don't mind that. but we'll see. We don't know what the roster is going to be. So a couple 18 players who are coming off injury will not be called up, and a couple players integrating to their new clubs have also been told about their omission for this camp, like John Brooks. All right. Well,
he needed the preseason. That's what BJ said, right? He needed the preseason, and once he's had a good preseason and started the season, we'll call him back up.
Yeah. Okay. No, I mean, I understand the 18 players that have recent injuries. That absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
We
talked about Gio last week or on Monday show. How I would even if he's back to playing this weekend, I wouldn't call him up for September.
Integrating
let him recover. Let him get integrated with the team, and then we can talk about October.
I mean, integrating can be almost anybody at this point. Pulisic, Pepi, Tillman, Dest, Aronson. They're all integrating into their new clubs.
I would put a little caveat on that and simply say that if you're playing for those new clubs, you're not necessarily integrating as in a player like Pepi who hasn't found much of any playing time at all.
Or Tillman.
Dest. I know a lot of people are talking about Tillman being included, but I mean, like, obviously he needs to work on his club level, but then maybe the national team levels are going to would propel him forward in that front. But is that what the national teams become?
I'm curious to see how much playing time Tillman's going to get at all, honestly. And then Aronson just got to Union Berlin, started right away, so maybe he's already integrated. So maybe he gets called up because he's integrated. Whereas, and then maybe the same thing for Jedi and Bream, they're integrated.
We know Adams is just getting back out on the pitch. And I don't think he's going to be included. So that means
no.
So we're looking at either going to the dual pivot with like McKinney and Musa.
No, because Musa's integrating.
Fair enough. This is going to get tricky.
Yeah,
I guess this just allows. If that's the case, this would obviously allow a bunch of
MLS players.
I mean, yeah,
that's where we're going to get. And it's okay, I guess, in a way.
Depends on the MLS players, right?
But there's just not a whole lot of MLS players that are gonna play on this team 3 years from now in the World Cup.
That's fine, and you can start bringing in some players, like you can bring in somebody like a Brandon Vasquez who already has experience with the national team. I would love to see Guti get called in.
Sargent's not integrating. He's going to be called up, right?
Yeah, he better be called up.
If we're talking about players who aren't integrating, because that's the magic word of the moment, Sargent's not. So he should be called up, right? Balogun, he'll be integrating. He's not going to be called up. 29 is saying GeoGate ain't over yet. Huh. Okay. I don't think that benefits Greg at all. So he's got to figure out how to fix that. $2. Yeah. At what point do we stop calling up middle S on merit? I agree with you, but we are talking again with the excuse of using the word integrating by Greg, and we might as well prepare ourselves for it.
Well, it wasn't even by Greg. Technically, this is from Diego's mouth. And he's here. I'm assuming he's hearing this from players who are.
Oh yeah, he is
getting told by Greg, "Hey, we're going to let you stay at your club so you can integrate into the team."
Right, and we've got a lot of players integrating right now who are usually in our top 23. There are a lot of integrating players. The ones that are not, I mean, Turner's even integrating, right? Turner
playing, but yes.
He's a starter, though, so is that it? He seems to have completed the integration. So maybe he comes and plays. Jedi will play. Let's just look at the starting lineup. Ream should be there. He's not integrating. Richards is fully integrated to playing on the bench for Crystal Palace, so he should be there. Dest is already a starter on PSV, so he's completed the integration process. Okay. Musa's integrating. He can't play. McKinney, is he integrating? No, he's playing for Juventus. He should be there. Luca De La Torre should be there because he's not integrating. I mean, we've got to keep using this word because that's what we're being told is going to be the difference. Pulisic is a starter. He's going to be there because he's not integrating. He's a starter already. On the right wing, Weah is a starter for Juventus. Doesn't seem to be integrating. Should probably be called up. Up top, Pepi's integrating. Sargent's not. He should go. Balogun doesn't even have a fucking team yet. I mean, he does as of today, but he'll be integrating. So Sargent will play. So, and then the rest of the lineups, the backup lineup's probably filled out by, my guess, MLS guys. So, at what point did I already read that?
Did it, yeah.
Okay, thank you, by the way, Gibberino. A couple 18 players who are coming off.
We've already talked
Okay,
about
we already read that. All right, I thought maybe you would have
so
changed.
Jasper, is this something that Diego's saying right now, or what? But this is what he's saying. He says, no Poli, Flo, Adams, Weah, McKinney, Dest, Pepi, Tillman, Musa.
Well, this isn't even going to be worth watching then.
Yeah.
Honestly, I will watch it because I have to. But, I mean, it blows. Because we only have, 4 windows until Copa America. 4 windows.
I don't think anybody's not. I think everybody's forgetting that there's a Camp Cupcake.
That doesn't count. There are only 4 true international windows left, FIFA windows, for our team before Copa America. And we're going to waste one of those windows because it's early in the season overseas. Hey, listen. Listen. This might make sense, Brett. It might make sense, okay? I don't know. I don't want to give Greg credit here, but in some ways, we got a lot of players who haven't nailed down their jobs in Europe yet. A lot. Including McKinney, including Pulisic, who looks like that's off to a good start. But is he an every game starter? It looks like it. We're not sure. But that's a brand new team for him. So maybe that's still considered integrating. So if you want to use that excuse, we're playing some 2 shitty fucking teams. I don't know how much we're going to learn playing against 2 dirtbag fucking teams. 2 goat herding teams. Goat herders. Teams of goat herders.
So I guess this is an international win. This is a FIFA window, is it not?
Yes.
Then who fucking cares if the players are integrating into their club still? They're not going to play games during that window.
They're not, but maybe he wants them to stick with the club because those teams do practice, by the way, during the FIFA window. They don't just shut off. The players that remain on the team do hang out. They do play together. They do practice together. So
I'm just saying though that any international window where players are fighting week in, week out for starting time or playing time in general, are we going to sit there and say that though? Like,
no.
Come October, are we going to say, well, Pepi is only getting like 6 minutes a game. Maybe we need to let him sit there and integrate with the team.
Well, if he's only getting 6 minutes a game, he probably won't be called up. But I'll tell you this, it's the beginning of the season. Let's be really honest here and be really fair. It is a very important part for all of those players over there who are not securing. Most of them aren't 100% or even 90% or even 80% secure that they're starters for their team. So if you want to make that excuse, Greg could make a good argument, and I think we could live with it.
And just bring in Sargent and Luca De La Torre, and that's it.
I don't think we're even going to see Sargent. If what I'm looking at is like, hey, let's just let all the the starter guys or the guys that we expect to be in the 23 or the starting 11 or the top 18, and they're over in Europe, let's just let them relax and get into the season. And we're just going to play these 2 cupcake games against these goat herders with a bunch of our goat herders. I don't know, Brett. That's all I can think of. That's got to be what the thinking process is. Otherwise, I don't understand how you're going to leave off a lot of these players when you only got 4 opportunities and 4 windows for this team to gel. But at the same time, if these players don't go over to Europe and don't succeed, And he's got to make that argument, though. Greg's got to make the argument, and it's got to be reasonable. I want to hear it from his lips.
I don't know. Until I see otherwise, I'm suspecting at least half of the starting lineup to being A-listers. At least.
Judgmental Deity says, update, paraphrasing here, according to 29, BJ, man, reached out to Gio's camp to meet up with GGG and Berhalter. So, BJ, man.
So, BJ, the previous coach?
Oh, Callahan.
Reached out to Gio's camp and said, hey, let's all meet up when we're in Germany. And apparently he's saying that Berhalter flaked out and didn't go on the trip.
He didn't even go?
Or didn't flake out on it to go on a trip.
And Berhalter flaked
instead
out
of going to Germany, he went on a trip or something like that. Again, guys, this is just what Judgmental Deity is paraphrasing what Diego is saying on his show.
And thank you for keeping us up on the tasty morsels that he usually shares on our show. Come on, man. What's going on, 29? Jesus H. Christ.
He's got a brand he needs built. He's starting his podcast. He's starting his podcast soon.
Yeah, can you tell him to move it to Fridays or Wednesdays?
Wednesdays.
He needs to move it to Wednesdays.
He spill all those beans in. Now we still have 106 people in here listening to us. The problem is that our topics, they've run dry.
Okay.
An hour and a half into the show.
I'm not done.
Oh, good.
I'm not done.
I feel bad for the 105 people that are watching right now that we're nearing an hour and 30 minutes and done.
No, that's fine. It's fine. We should end soon anyhow, but there are some reports that I need to give.
Fair.
One, Vines on Tuesday played 44 for Antwerp in a win. So Vines is back. All right. Not that he's ever going to play for the U.S. men's national team again because he went to Europe and now he's being ignored. Dest went 80, which we talked about with PSV. Pepi and Tillman were in the 18. They saw no minutes. And people
got a hat trick.
Well, there's a lot of people. Yes, he did versus Monaco in a friendly. I know.
If only Flo was there, it would have been a different game, right?
I mean, wax the dolphin on that. Listen, all I can hope is that De Jong, and I don't like wishing injuries on anybody, but I do hope that De Jong at his age needs rests and that we're going to see enough Pepi this season. I already said what I think with Tillman. I don't know where he's going to get some minutes this season, but we'll see. Ben Lederman, by the way, so you know, played 10 minutes for Rakow.
Didn't he officially move?
Yes, he did.
Why do we keep talking about him?
I don't know, because it's funny.
I mean, he's an American, yes, but
was all right. Borto for the U20 team, U21 Fulham team went 90 in a loss. So I want to report that
with the U21s.
Yes.
Huh.
Playing for the U21s. He's a goalkeeper, by the way. Wooten went 4. Woot, old school. He got a goal. And Munster, Krusen Munster, won their game. He went 38 minutes. Santiago Castaneda was in the 18 for Duisburg, did not play. He's from the Rowdies youth system or system. He's only 18 years old, so let's give him some time.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Jalen Hawkins went 45 for Mannheim in a loss. He was yanked at halftime, I believe. And then on Wednesday, Wednesday, Isaiah Young went 71 for Rot-Weiss Essen in a tie. Male Corbos went 90 in a loss for Verl. Justin Butler went 13 for Dortmund's 2 team. Joe Enoch's got a tie as the manager of Regensburg. Joe Richardson, who's only 21 years old, is with Sandhausen. He's a midfielder. He's 18. He was in the 18. Excuse me. He's 21. Cardoso went 90, as we mentioned, for Internacional versus Bolivar, and they won. Let's see. Thursday, Dante Polvara for Aberdeen went 70 minutes versus Haken in the Europa League. And then in the Conference League, McKenzie went 90 for Genk in a win. So that's good.
Assist.
He's back. He's back, right?
You got an assist?
Your boy Mihailovic went 60 for Aze and did not play well versus Braun. Again, passive, way too passive. Open Cup, Vasquez scored a goal.
A really nice goal, too.
And Kramashi got an assist. So those are two Americans there. So anyhow, we're going to be knocking on 29's door. Hell yeah. We're going to figure out why he scheduled the show right.
We're already dealing with Herc's show being on the same time as our show.
I know, dude. Don't do this.
We don't need this competition. We picked Monday and Thursday because nobody had those days.
And you're a friend.
Come on, guys. Killing me.
What kind of friend does this? All right.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
So that's literally all there is to report tonight. I'm sorry that the show is going to stop before 2 hours is up. But it's good for once in a while for Brett and I to actually have some free time to actually spend with, well, Brett, his family, and me, my dick. So these are all good things for everybody. And
you can go with the left hand, so it feels a little different, right?
Dude, I've been doing left hand for 30 years. All right, left hand for 30 years. It feels weird.
You're gonna sit on it to make it numb.
No, I don't do that.
It feels like somebody else is doing it.
No, I just put on a rubber glove. No, I don't do that either. All right. Listen, thanks to all of you who are supporting the show. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and just being there for us and building the family. We're going to continue. We'll be back on Monday after we hope is a great slew of games. I might have some problems on Monday, Brett, because we might have to do a show on Tuesday. My brother's coming to town. Yeah, I know. My brother is coming to town, and he will be here on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday and Wednesday. And I work all weekend. I'm going to be working on at the Indy 11 game. That's actually work for me. I have to be there as part of, I'm a dignitary representing an organization. And then on Sunday at the Indiana State Museum, we have another event called Overdose Awareness Day. And that's where we have hundreds of families come and post the photos of their loved ones that they've lost onto our memorial wall. And it's a very somber. And then we do a candlelight vigil, and that goes on until late in the night. And then on Monday, I finally am going to have a day off and get to hang out with my parents and my brother. And I don't think doing a show is really appropriate there. So may have to move the show to Tuesday. I'll talk with Brett about that after the show. Either way, we're going to have Eric Ronaldo on soon. And I really got no Brady Bunch things for you guys tonight, but I do thank you all for being here. Judgmental Deity says, closing out the show, quick update. Seems like Pepi won't be there according to 29 as of now. That's what we're saying. We're not going to see anybody who just went to a new club. They're not going to be there. And if we see Sargent, we'll be lucky. If we see Reem, if we see Jedi, that'll be fabulous. It sounds like right now it's going to be a B team. And that's not shocking, but we are playing two goat herding teams, which we should easily defeat even with a bunch of our goat herders, because our goat herders play in a better goat herding league. Okay, until the next time on the Straight Red Card, we love you, and we will see you soon. Good night.
She's a trap, she's an unsung novel, turn a lap and get your whole world dazzled on the line, or a phone call with or without wine.
That hurt.
I'm tuned in like crazy, and I'm pretending like I know what they're doing, and I'm,
Articulate and intelligent.
Greg's a bitch.